Peak English Podcast.
From Peak English with Class. Peak English Podcast. Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the Peak English Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations and improve your life at the same time. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. And as always, we're really happy you decided to spend a little bit of your day with us. Just a quick reminder for our new listeners. This is a B1 and B2 level English episode. If you don't understand every word, just relax. You can always listen again.
Exactly. There is no pressure here at all. We are just two friends having a cup of coffee and talking about real life.
And today's topic is a heavy one, Sarah. We are talking about money mistakes and how to forgive yourself for them. You know, that terrible sinking guilt you feel when you spend way too much or make a really bad financial decision.
Oh, I know that feeling too well. It feels like a dark cloud over your head, following you everywhere you go.
Right. We often believe that our past mistakes will ruin our financial future forever. But today, I am going to show you an unexpected, incredibly simple way to finally forgive yourself and completely reset your money mindset.
Wow, I am so ready for this. Honestly, I think I really need this topic today. But before we start, let's do our daily reflection challenge.
Yes, we want to know who is listening out there and how you are feeling right now.
So pause the video for just a second, go down to the comments and type, I am name from country. And today I feel...
And if you feel brave today, you can even share one money mistake you want to forgive yourself for. We read every single comment, and it truly makes this community feel like a warm, safe family.
Okay, Alex, let's dive right in. Honestly, I have to confess something before we even start.
I'm listening, Sarah. What's on your mind?
Well, a few years ago, I fell for an online scam. I lost a big part of my savings. Every time I check my banking app, my stomach just drops. I just can't seem to let it go.
Oh, Sarah, I am so sorry you went through that. But please know that is completely normal. We call that carrying financial baggage.
Carrying financial baggage? Like carrying heavy bags at the airport?
Exactly like that. Baggage usually means your suitcases, but financial baggage is a common idiom. It means holding on to old money problems or guilt, which makes your mind feel heavy and stops you from moving forward.
Ah, I see. So carrying financial baggage means holding on to the guilt and stress of past money mistakes.
You got it perfectly. For example, if someone lost a lot of money in a bad business 5 years ago and they are still terrified to start a new business today, they are carrying financial baggage.
That makes total sense, and it really does feel incredibly heavy to carry. So, how do we drop these heavy bags?
Well, let me tell you about a time I felt exactly the same way you do now.
Wait, really? You made a huge money mistake too?
Oh, a massive one. 5 years ago, I was sitting at my messy kitchen table, staring blankly at my laptop screen.
What were you looking at?
I was looking at my credit card bill. I had spent thousands of dollars on extremely expensive camera gear for a business idea that completely failed.
Oh no! Thousands of dollars? That must have hurt so much.
My chest felt incredibly tight. My hands were literally shaking on the keyboard. I thought, I am a complete failure. I will never, ever recover from this.
I know that exact feeling, Alex. It feels like you can't even breathe. What happened next?
My friend Mark walked into the kitchen. He looked at my pale face, put his hand firmly on my shoulder, and said, Alex, you paid for a lesson. Did you learn it?
Wow, you paid for a lesson. That is a completely different way to look at it.
Right. Psychologically, our human brains always focus on the negative loss. We obsess over the money that is gone, but we completely forget to look at the knowledge we gained.
So you're saying we shouldn't see it as losing money, but as buying a very expensive lesson?
Exactly. And that brings us to our very first tiny habit for today. Step 1 to forgiving yourself is to reframe the loss as tuition.
Tuition? Like school fees?
Yes, tuition is the money you pay to go to a school or a university. When you reframe something, you change the mental picture or the way you look at it.
Oh, so reframing the loss as tuition means you tell yourself you didn't just lose the money, you paid it to the University of Life to learn a valuable lesson.
Precisely. For example, my failed camera business taught me exactly what not to do next time. That harsh lesson was my tuition.
That is such a comforting way to think about it, Alex. I didn't lose my savings to that scam. I just paid an expensive tuition fee to learn how to protect my money better.
Exactly, Sarah. Once you pay the tuition, you can finally graduate and move on with your life. But that is only the first step.
Right. Because honestly, even if I call it tuition, I still feel a little bit angry at myself. What's the next step?
The next step is about separating who you are as a person from what you did, and it involves a very simple but strange trick with a mirror.
A trick with a mirror? Wait, are we doing magic tricks to fix our finances now?
No magic tricks today, Sarah. Just basic human psychology.
Okay, good. Because honestly, sometimes when I make a money mistake, I don't just feel angry at the situation. I feel like a genuinely bad person.
Yes, that is the hardest part. When we mess up with money, we tend to tie our self-worth to our net worth.
Tie our self-worth to our net worth? What does that mean exactly?
Well, net worth is all the money and things you own, and self-worth is how much value you feel you have as a human being. When you tie them together, you think, I have no money, so I have no value.
Oh, wow. Yes, that is exactly what I do. If I make a stupid purchase, I tell myself, I am stupid. I don't just say the purchase was bad.
Exactly, and that is why we constantly beat ourselves up over past choices.
Oh, let me explain that one for our listeners. To beat yourself up doesn't mean to actually hit yourself with your hands. It means to criticize yourself very harshly in your own mind.
Perfect explanation, Sarah. For example, if you burn the dinner and you yell at yourself, I am the worst cook in the world, I ruin everything, you are beating yourself up.
Yeah, I beat myself up about money all the time. So, how does the mirror help us stop doing this?
Well, going back to my failed camera business, a few days after I got that terrible credit card bill, I felt completely worthless.
Oh no, that must have been a really dark time for you, Alex.
It really was. One morning, I was standing in my small, cold bathroom, just staring at my own reflection in the mirror above the sink.
Mm-hmm. What were you doing in there?
I was gripping the edges of the sink so hard that my knuckles turned white. My eyes were red from not sleeping. I looked straight into my own tired eyes and I thought, you are such a massive failure. Nobody will ever trust you again.
Oh, Alex, it breaks my heart to hear you talk to yourself like that. But honestly, I do the exact same thing when I look in the mirror.
Right? It's brutal. But then I suddenly remembered a podcast I listened to by a famous psychologist. He talked about identity separation.
Identity separation? That sounds very scientific. What does it actually mean for us normal people?
It means creating a clear, thick wall between what you did and who you are. I realized I was confusing a bad action with a bad identity.
A bad action versus a bad identity. Can you give me a simple example of the difference?
Sure, a bad identity is saying, I am terrible with money. A bad action is saying, I made a terrible choice with my money yesterday.
Oh, that is a huge difference. If you say, I am terrible, it sounds permanent, like it's a part of your DNA.
Exactly, Sarah. If you believe it is your true identity, you will never try to change. But if it's just a single action, well, you can just take a different action tomorrow.
Wow. So what did you actually do in the bathroom that morning?
I looked in the mirror, pointed right at my own reflection, and I spoke out loud. I said, Alex, you made a very foolish choice. But you are not a foolish person.
You actually said it out loud to yourself?
Yes, and that is our second tiny habit for today. We call it the mirror detachment. Whenever you feel money guilt, you must look in a mirror and say, I made a bad choice, but I am not a bad person.
I love that so much. It removes the shame. Like, okay, I bought a very expensive jacket I didn't need. The choice was bad. But I, Sarah, am still a good, smart person.
Exactly. You detach the mistake from your soul. You are a good person who is simply learning how to manage money.
That takes so much pressure off my shoulders. It's like giving yourself permission to be a flawed human.
We are all flawed, Sarah, every single one of us. But now we have to talk about what happens after you forgive yourself, because there is a very dangerous trap waiting for us.
A dangerous trap? Oh no! Just when I was starting to feel better. What is this trap, Alex?
Well, it happens when you mess up your budget, and then you think, well, the budget is ruined anyway, so I might as well just keep spending.
Oh my goodness, yes, I do this all the time. We call it falling off the wagon, right?
Yes, falling off the wagon is a fantastic idiom. What does it usually mean in daily life, Sarah?
It means you are doing really well with a good habit, like a diet or saving money. And then you fail and go back to your old bad habits.
Spot on. For example, if you haven't eaten sugar in a month, but then you eat a whole chocolate bar on a Friday night, you fell off the wagon.
Right. And when I fall off the money wagon, I just give up completely. I think, I already spent $100 over my budget. I'm a failure. I'll just spend $500 more.
The classic snowball effect. We let one small mistake roll down the hill until it becomes a giant avalanche of bad decisions.
Exactly. So, how do we stop this avalanche, Alex? Because once I start sliding, it feels impossible to stop myself.
Well, this reminds me of a very embarrassing story from last year. I was at the shopping mall looking for a simple pair of running shoes.
Just running shoes? That doesn't sound too dangerous for your wallet.
You would think so, but I was walking past a luxury watch store, and I saw this beautiful silver watch shining brightly in the display window.
Oh no, Alex. I can feel the disaster coming. What did you do?
I walked inside, just to look. But the salesman was so persuasive. Before I knew it, I was standing at the cash register, handing over my credit card for a $600 watch.
$600? But you only went in for running shoes.
I know. As soon as I walked out of the store, a massive wave of guilt hit me. My hands felt completely cold, and my stomach tied itself into tight knots. I remember standing in the middle of the mall thinking, you idiot. You just ruined your entire budget for the month. You are hopeless.
That heavy financial baggage again. I bet you felt like just going home, locking the door, and hiding under your blankets.
Actually, it was worse. Because I felt I had already ruined the budget, I walked straight toward an expensive electronics store next door.
Wait, what? Why would you do that if you already felt so guilty about the watch?
Because of the trap. I thought, the budget is already dead. I might as well buy those new headphones I wanted too. I was throwing my hands up in defeat.
Oh, wow. Yes. It's like dropping your phone, getting a tiny scratch on the screen, and then throwing the phone at the wall to completely smash it.
That is the absolute perfect analogy, Sarah. Yes, it makes absolutely no sense. But our brains do it to avoid the pain of trying to fix the small mistake.
So, did you buy the headphones, Alex? Please tell me you didn't.
Luckily, no. As I reached for the door of the electronics store, I remembered a tiny rule my grandfather taught me. He called it the next right dollar.
The next right dollar? What does that mean?
It means you cannot change the dollar you just spent. That money is gone forever. But you have 100% control over the very next dollar you spend.
Oh, I love that. So instead of worrying about the $600 watch, you focused on not spending the next $100 on headphones.
Exactly. And that is our third tiny habit for today. Focus on the next right dollar. Don't try to fix the past. Just make sure your next small action is a good one.
That is so practical. It stops the avalanche immediately. If I buy an expensive coffee I shouldn't have, I don't give up on the whole week. I just pack my lunch for the next day.
Precisely, Sarah. You forgive the mistake instantly by proving to yourself that you can still make a good choice right now. Well, Sarah, we have talked about some really deep emotional things today. It is never easy to look at our own mistakes.
It really isn't, Alex. But honestly, I feel so much lighter now. It feels like I can finally breathe again.
That is wonderful to hear. And before we move on to our vocabulary practice, let's quickly review the 3 tiny habits we learned today. This will help our listeners remember the steps and feel a great sense of accomplishment.
Yes, let's do it. So the first habit was reframe the loss as tuition. This means we stop crying over the lost money and we tell ourselves that we simply paid for a very important life lesson.
Perfect summary, Sarah. And the second habit was the mirror detachment. This is when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I made a bad choice, but I am not a bad person. You must separate your self-worth from your net worth.
That one is definitely my favorite. It completely removes the shame. And finally, the third habit was focus on the next right dollar.
Exactly. When you make a mistake and fall off the wagon, do not let it become an avalanche. Just stop, breathe, and make sure your very next choice is a good one. You cannot change the past, but you control the next dollar.
I am definitely going to write these 3 habits on a sticky note and put them on my fridge.
That is a fantastic idea, Sarah. And now it is time for everyone's favorite part of the show, the word tour.
Yay! This is where we review the best idioms and phrases from today's conversation, so you can sound like a native English speaker.
We have 5 great phrases today. For each word, we will explain it simply, give you 2 real-life examples, and then give you time to practice speaking.
Remember to speak out loud, even if you are alone in your room. Okay, let's start with our first phrase, financial baggage.
Financial baggage means the heavy feelings of guilt, stress, or fear that you carry from your past money mistakes. Example 1. After his business closed, he carried a lot of financial baggage for years.
Example 2. She refuses to use a credit card because of her financial baggage from college.
Now, it's your turn. Repeat after me. Financial baggage.
Great job! Our second phrase is to beat yourself up.
To beat yourself up means to criticize yourself very harshly or be too angry at yourself for a mistake. Example 1. You failed the math test, but please don't beat yourself up about it.
Example 2. I always beat myself up when I say the wrong thing at a party.
Your turn. Repeat after me. To beat yourself up.
Awesome! Moving on to phrase number 3. Net worth.
Net worth is a financial term. It simply means the total value of all the money, property, and things you own, minus any debt you have. Example 1. The famous actor has a net worth of over $50 million.
Example 2. My net worth is pretty low right now, but I am working hard to save more.
Repeat after me. Net worth.
You are doing great! Phrase number 4 is a really fun idiom. To fall off the wagon.
To fall off the wagon means you stop doing a good habit and you go back to doing a bad habit. Example 1. He quit smoking for a year, but he fell off the wagon last week.
Example 2. I was saving money so well, but I fell off the wagon and bought an expensive bag.
Your turn. Repeat after me. To fall off the wagon.
And our final phrase for today is the snowball effect.
The snowball effect describes a situation where a very small problem gets bigger and bigger very quickly, just like a snowball rolling down a mountain. Example 1. Her tiny credit card debt turned into a snowball effect, and soon she owed thousands.
Example 2. One late project at work created a snowball effect of panic for the whole team.
Last one, repeat after me. The snowball effect.
Wow, what an amazing word tour! You guys did such a wonderful job practicing with us today.
We really mean it. Whether you are cooking dinner, commuting on the bus, or just relaxing in bed, thank you for spending your valuable time with us.
We know learning English can be tough, but you showed up today, and that is what matters most. We are so proud of you.
If you enjoyed this cozy conversation and you want to keep improving your English and your life, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
It really helps our small channel grow, and it tells YouTube to share this safe space with more learners around the world.
And listen, we talked a lot about money guilt today, but do you know what triggers that guilt the most?
What is it, Alex?
It is looking at other people's perfect lives on the internet. It makes us feel incredibly poor and unsuccessful. So, if you found today's episode helpful, you absolutely need to click on the next video on the screen right now. We are going to talk about how social media makes you poor.
Oh, that is a powerful episode. We will talk about how to turn off those toxic notifications and how to finally stop comparing yourself to others.
It will truly change the way you look at your phone. So, click the video on your screen, and we will see you over there in just a few seconds.
This is Sarah.
And this is Alex. You've been listening to the Peak English Podcast. Bye.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your Speak English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.